right, welcome back to Wheels of Steel 4.0. Next game is going to be Flower City Fear taking on Houston Men's Roller Derby. I am Timmy Twitch, joined again by the wonderful...
The Big Ragu.
Indeed.
Yeah. This is the second bout today already for Houston. It's only the third bout in out of six.
Out of six.
So almost be the halfway point of the tournament after this bout.
Interesting how that works. You know, 3 being half of 6.
Yeah, if you're good with math.
I'm not. We've been over this.
We talked about that earlier. It's in, plugged in. There again, this is the Houston Roughnecks against Flower City Fear.
Currently probably seeing Houston warming up. Interesting, Houston's skating with 11 skaters.
Flower City's down as well. They had 12?
12 would be that number.
Again, enjoying that math that we have. Both these teams have a common opponent so far in the tournament. When we looked at that, that was Race City. I don't know how much we can take from that. We do know that Flower City had the better defense. They both scored about the same amount of points. If there was an edge, like we were talking earlier, Twitch, that would lean toward Flower City there. But too early to tell. I mean, Race City was... they're a very dominant team and the top-ranked team in this tournament. And
a big factor, Flower City is going to be down one of their key players in Sir John. One of their highest-scoring jammers and a good leader out there as well. See how it could very well affect them substantially.
And a big one, and when we were talking about jammers, you brought it up, you know, Flower City had the 4 with Torque Chop, Giles, Sir John, and Mike Drop, the captain of Flower City. You know, they were all going through, so it's going to be interesting to see. They're obviously not going to be able to do that 4-jammer rotation anymore. They're going to have to go down to the 3, or we'll see if somebody is going to step up and take that place. Houston, on the flip side of that, they have 2 distinct jammers that score a majority of their points, and that was Sweet Feet, and then you had Halo Mofo. as another one. And another one that eats up a lot of jams is Sandman. So it'll be interesting to see there, especially coming off the first bout today, where their endurance level is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, them only having a 1-game break between being the first team to play and playing such a rough game as they did this morning.
That was a very rough game. Race City takes it easy on no one.
No.
And like you said, I think you had mentioned they only have 11 skaters skating this bout, which is going to tax their endurance even more. So we'll see if Flower City, being the fresher team, can take advantage of that. Even though they are the lower-ranked team in this one, Flower City at 43, Houston Roughnecks ranked at 37.
But I can tell you right now, this has been a thing that a lot of teams have made the mistake with. They have underrated Flower City, and then it ends up biting them severely. And then they've already had a couple upset wins this season, and I can just see it continuing to go.
Absolutely. You see with a lot of the rankings and things that are going on in the MRDA, there's not as many teams as there are in WIFDA. So when you see a team that's ranked 17th going up against a team in the 30s, that could be a massive gap in ability there. Both of these teams came into existence just 2 years ago in 2017. So while they may have some skaters that have had the experience overall as a team with communication and everything else, they're still working out those kinks.
And an interesting fact, I'm proud to say that the team I play for, the Philadelphia Hooligans, we're one of the teams that helped Flower City get their games in to become a MRDA sanctioned team. We were all about helping them out.
Helping him out, giving him those the insight and knowledge, anything to help bring him up. That's the great thing that is roller derby, is the willingness of everyone wanting to bring teams up. They say we're actually ahead of time, so that's kind of exciting.
Wow. That does not ever happen.
No, we were almost 30 minutes behind yesterday, but we take it now. Talking about picking people up, if you went to Summer Affair there, August 9th through 11th in Akron there, hosted by the Cleveland Guardians, those skaters are going to be participating in those clinics by some of the best skaters in the world, talking about sharing knowledge and things like that. Flower City, Houston, 0-0, and here we go.
And we're going to start with Mic Drop going up against Sweet Feet. Mic Drop out in front for Flower City, gets lead jammer. Sweet Feet still being held up. Chris Stram bringing him all the way back, but Sweet Feet finds the inside line. No!
Able to get through and by, but Stram on him big time. Still struggling to get through was that Sweet Feet.
And
they're calling a track cut.
On
again, telling Sweet Feet.
I thought I saw the cut on the inside there, and I was wondering if they were going to call it, and they indeed did. And that's going to give Mic Drop the chance to just get some reps in, get those points up, get the team up there right in the beginning.
Quick jump. They're already up. He's scored 8 points so far and going. Able to hold in there, trying to jump by, gets knocked out of bounds, and having to call it off.
Good job there by Star. Of Houston, knocking him out, making him call off.
Starting off already with that double-digit jam there. Sweet Feet still in the box there, 42 for Houston.
Giles lining up for Flower City. Gonna say I am fanboying a little bit. Grew up with the man. Childhood friend of mine.
Yeah, you have a vested interest in a lot of these bouts that are going on.
I do. I have been playing for the 5 years that I have. Giles is your lead jammer, but been playing for 5 years. I have a lot of friends that are playing this weekend.
Get that inside knowledge and stuff to see him there. And Sweet Feet coming through and getting on that lead lap. Got through the pack, almost untouched.
Giles getting a little help from his friends on the inside, gets around, calls off the jam, picking up, I believe, 4 points for Flower City. Score with 27 minutes and a half left to go, 15-0 in favor of Flower City.
He gets by with a little help from his friends.
You know, that reminds me of everything you do to make your heart sing. Thank you for singing that song to me.
Yes, it does.
And that's my cookie.
Well, you know, exchanging compliments like that, it's like intellectual back scratching. And here we go, around turn one.
Torque Chop out there for Flower City. Takes the inside line, gets lead jammer.
And that's Halo Mofo jamming.
And
for Houston, able to get through the pack as well.
Slick Shoes going to be sent to the box for a forearm. Torque Chop getting knocked down, calls it off while he's on his knees.
Now that is going to be something to watch there with Slick Shoes. As we talked about earlier, we were joking about it. He made it through the bout. He didn't foul out. And he said, you know, everybody was expecting him to. Apparently that's a thing with Slick Shoes, but
oh, is it something he's known for?
He's known for fouling out, apparently.
So he is the wheelie rider of Houston.
Yes, he is the wheelie rider of Houston. Ooh, nice hit there, making the jammer go all the way to the back of the pack there.
Jammer being Mike Drop. Mike Drop taking the inside line, hops up, and he is lead. No, Slick Shoes is lead. Or sorry, that is Sweet Feet for Houston. There. I'm still waking up.
Pretzel of humanity.
Oh, if you could just hear what the house announcers said.
That is.
Giles lining up for Flower City.
Flower City Fear with 20. Houston with 4.
Oh, Houston.
Just over 25 minutes to go.
Houston able to get on the board, and Giles out in front. Lead Jammer goes to Flower City. Sandman trying to find the outside line, but no, Flower City's blocker right up front knocks him out. He gets all the way back.
Pack moving into turn 3. Massive mass there. Sandman trying to work the inside, unable to go anywhere with that. Trying to find a weakness there. Oh, coming out your lead jammer there, like you said, Giles.
That was a solid wall of King Killa, Davey Darko, Dick Move, and Toxic Beverage.
Power jam right there is, I believe that's Sweet Feet getting another jammer penalty. Or, excuse me, that was Sandman. It's going to be a power start for Flower City. Current score has it 25-4 with 24 minutes to go in the first half.
Giles calling it off. It looks like they're going to ice Sandman into the box for almost the full 30 seconds. I think he only sat for maybe 5 before that jam got called off.
If it was 5 seconds, like you said. And the time doesn't start until there's going to be, surprised there wasn't a penalty there.
Yeah, that was interesting. A little bit of contact there before the whistle, I thought I saw. But they did not call it.
That's right. Pork Chop is your lead jammer for Flower City.
Toxic Beverage being released from the box. Pork Chop picks up 1 point, calls it off. They're going to ice Sandman yet again.
Still 26-4.
23 minutes left to go in play of the first half.
Flower City with the lead. I believe that's Mike Drop that's going to be jamming for Flower City. And still sitting in a penalty box, Sandman.
Actually, correction, I think that's Giles.
Is that Giles?
Yep, that is definitely Giles. No, that is Mike Drop. You are right.
I was just wondering because...
No, my eyes are playing tricks on me. That's another song.
Ghetto Boys. Oh, wait, that's mine's playing tricks on me. Looks like we have a pass of the cover there, trying to get it through to the... it's probably Snarl Sagan if there was one.
I believe that's...
not?
No, that's El Limon.
El Limon.
El Limon.
And it's going to be between those two from what I've noticed with their defense there. If they're going to pass it off, a lot of times it's between El Limon and Snarl Sagan to get that. 30-4 in favor of Flower City. Just over 22 minutes to go.
And this time we're actually going to have Giles out there going up against Sweet Feet. Both teams at full strength. We're going to have an all skate. All skate not so slowly, not so carefully, please.
Sweet Feet jamming for Houston. Giles jamming for Flower City. Sweet Feet out there.
Yeah, that's the first, I believe, power jam.
It's the second time, but he's the only jammer for Houston to get lead jammer status.
Second lead. Sorry, words are hard for me today. I will fully fix that.
Oh, that was a big hit there, again by Snarl Sagan on the jammer. Giles looking to hand off the cover now. Cap, Star,
And he does pass it to number 0, Jack Skellington, for Flower City is now your jammer.
Sweet Feet still able to get by the pack there. That's a 4-point pass. And they're going to go ahead and call it off there. And I believe is that going to be a 4-point jam there in favor for Houston? 30-8, Flower City advantage.
You are correct.
Just over 20 minutes to go in the half.
Flower City currently down 1 blocker. Houston at full strength. You got Torque Chop taking on Hello Mofo. And Torque Chop gets out front. Lead jammer goes to Flower City. Fear. Slick Shoes with the hit to the inside onto Torque Chop. Torque Chop having to call it off.
And that's one thing. Got 3 points out of it. Still to call it off. 33-8 in favor of Flower City. Just under 20 minutes to go. Sweet Feet and Halo Mofo are going to be playing a lot this bout.
Yes. I hope they've been getting their reps in at home because they're going to need that endurance. Mic drop lining up for Flower City. He's got 2 blocks to beat. Great recycle there by Houston. Holds up. Mic drop. Allows Sweet Feet to get out. Lead jammer goes Houston.
Pack in 2. Mic drop out of the pack now on the scoring lap. 4 points scored for Sweet Feet in Houston. And they're going to go ahead and call it off. Now, the question I want to ask is we look at the score at 33-12 in favor of Flower City, just over 19 minutes to go. But when you look at that, he took about a half a lap before he actually called off the jam there. You're down. Wouldn't you want to try to save a little extra time?
It depends. When you're this close, I mean, it's just one jam, honestly. One jam could get them right back into the lead. So you might still want to wind this clock down when you know that you guys are this close.
Makes sense to me. Like the way you explained it there.
Clock management is one of the hardest things to do in roller derby, and it takes good skill to do it. You got to listen to your bench coaches. Flower City does have a great bench staff with Coach Holly.
That's all. And while we're talking there, El Iman took lead jammer status for Houston.
Giles able to sneak in 4 points there at the end. Houston only got 2. Score 37-14 with 18 minutes left to go in play.
And here's the problem with that. You had El Iman, who's not a normal jammer, called it off just that skosh too late, and actually got outscored in that jam, 4-2. Yeah, great skating by Giles, though.
Yeah, you can't sleep on Giles. He's got that burst of speed that'll come out of nowhere.
Torque Chop is your lead on this jam going up against Sweet Feet. 37-14 is the current score. I believe we have a track cut being assessed to Torque Chop and Flower City. That gives the power advantage, the power jam to Houston. See if they can take advantage of it.
Torque Chop going to be joined by Chris Schramm in the penalty box.
That's 8 points, the biggest jam for Houston right now. Sweet Feet scoring 20 of the 22 points so far scored by Houston.
Like I was saying, it's just one power jam away. They can.
You mentioned it. He's already, now it's up to 26, 37-26, and he's still going through. And I was wondering there if Torque Chop had the lead, but apparently he must have gotten that penalty just before, as he was coming out of the pack there.
Yeah, I think the refs are discussing it right now. They're going to try to make some sense about what went on in that last jam.
One thing we can say, it is 37-26 in favor of Flower City right now. Just over 16 minutes to go in the half as the officials are discussing it. I'm pretty sure Torque Chop did get lead jammer status, which would mean the opposing team jammer cannot call off the jam, even though Torque Chop did get a penalty eventually in the
what they're trying to figure out, and I know this from being in a ref huddle, they're trying to figure out if that penalty was assessed to him or he earned it before he broke from the pack. Because if he earned it before he broke from the pack, he was never lead jammer to begin with.
Right.
If it was after he broke from the pack, then he was lead jammer, and then therefore they should not have allowed Houston to call it off. I believe they're going to go with the call that he got it before he broke.
And leave it there without the problem. Mic drop coming in and getting lead jammer status. That is not disputed right now. Followed closely by Sandman. (37-26). Of course, you would expect this. These teams are very evenly matched.
2 points going to be picked up by Flower City. 1 point by Houston. We're still at a close game, 39-27, with 15 and a half minutes left to go in our first half. And it looks like we're going to have Hello Mofo going.
Hello, Mofo. It looks like your buddy Giles.
Going against Giles. There on the Protect Jam line. Ooh, solid defense by both teams. But Hello Mofo able to go on the outside, gets through. Lead jammer goes to Houston.
Oh, that was a hardcore shoulder block given out by Astro Stash on that one. Jumping the apex, Halo Mofo coming around, getting the points there. Flying around, giving shoulders in there.
And Giles able to get through, takes off the star.
Looks like a direction block going to be called on 440 there.
Leia. A lot of pile-ups in this game so far. Both teams going all out.
A lot of, a lot of hitting going on there in the corners.
Score
everybody.
Score is 41-35. 14 minutes left to go in this game. Like I said, all it took was them to get a couple
That's exactly what you said.
Jams, and they caught right up.
So what do I know? You know, the coaches have it. That's why they're there. That's why they're doing this and deciding whether or not to call things off. And like you said, there's plenty of time in the bout. Still well over 13 minutes left in the first half.
Solid hit there by King Killa, knocking out Sweet Feet. Gives number 111 Torque Chop the ability to get lead jam.
Torque Chop taking advantage of it right now. Looks like if he can get by El Limon, he's going to have another couple points, but he is not. He got forced out of bounds there in turn 3.
And I'm going to say this because, and I mean no disrespect, but the amount of work that Sweet Feet has had to put into this day so far is starting to show. He's looking slightly gassed.
Hands on the hips, you see it.
Houston, you got to give them credit. They came skating with 11 skaters and have put everything into it. 10-point game right now.
Yeah, it's as close as we thought it was going to be.
We got Mike Drop out there. 2 blockers to beat. One more, and he is through. Lead jammer goes to Flower City Fear.
That should be Sandman trying to get through there. Oh, he got shoved out hard. I believe that was West. Getting him out of bounds.
Rocking the number 607, area code of Binghamton, New York, where he is from.
He's been teaming up with old Jack Skellington there. They've done a pretty good number on him. Taking it up to 53-35 in favor of Flower City. Earlier in there, I just wanted to point it out there, Slick Shoes did get another penalty on that one. Not that I'm keeping track of how many penalties he gets. I just happened to look up, and he was just getting out of the penalty box. What happened? Looks like we have a timeout by Flower City.
Probably talking about slowing this down, getting cleaner, cleaning up their gameplay. I mean, the score, 53-35. Wait, isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's like, what is that called, a palindrome?
Palindrome, yeah.
Drink water.
Yeah, I got the water right here. I've been looking at it for a while. And we talked about it there with that summer affair, August 9th through 11th, Akron, Ohio, hosted by the Cleveland Guardians. Skaters participate in clinics hosted by some of the best skaters in the world and then get to skate with and against them all weekend. This year's cast includes Scald Eagle, Lady Trample, Braun Swanson, Miracle Whips, Spin Diesel, Senior Wiener, and more. And don't forget to give London Mauling a crisp high five.
He's okay.
He's okay.
And Giles out.
Speaking of okay right there, Giles coming out as your lead jammer for this jam.
Giles coming in with a lot of force, gets held up by a solid wall.
Ran right into Star, didn't get anywhere.
Oh,
another penalty being assessed to Slick Shoes.
I didn't see what the call was for, but it almost looked like an insub, but I don't think it was.
A little late on the whistle there. They was definitely calling off. Sweet Feet able to get the 57-36 advantage going to Flower City. Just over 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Both teams currently down one blocker each. Jammers lined up on the Protect Jammer line, ready to take off. And Hollow Mofo inside line gets lead jammer for Houston.
Torque Chop being held back right now, going all the way to the back of the pack, trying to get through turn one. Massive rear ending there, given out by 440 Waya, the captain for Houston.
Kersham with a solid block right to the inside line, causing Hello Mofo.
Hello Mofo able to get through the pack. Pack is in turn two.
And still a close game, 57-40 with 9 minutes-ish to go in our first half.
Yeah, nine in a pinch. All right, looking through there, trying to see who we have. Vying for position there. They did blow the whistle. It's live. Mic drop for Flower City. Trying to get through there.
Looking
and
for
does.
that inside line. Barely stays in on his tippy toes.
In the meantime, Sweet Feet tried to toe that same line. Did not get the same. Is he able to stay in bounds?
Yes, he was.
He was.
Mike Chop gets through, picking up 4 points. Waiting for the direction.
Both keeping pace around the track. The pack started moving away, which was a good defensive and offensive strategy for the Flower City. Not allowing
I think that was
points.
Flower City controlling the speed of that pack, keeping it moving forward. Just, again, clock management. Trying to kill down that clock while they have the lead.
It's like we've said, this is a very, very close bout. Giles looks to be jamming for Flower City.
I believe he's going up against Sandman for Houston.
Now I look for this. This is a great shot for Flower City to expand their lead right now.
And as you say that, Giles does get lead, so he has control of this next jam. But
Sandman through the pack, though.
Yes.
Oh, tried to get up there. Took a good, solid shoulder from 501 there, Sergeant Psycho, to force that call off.
Giles looking for a forearm call. Did not get it.
Well, that's the thing. You are allowed to make contact, your upper arm to their body, but if you start to chicken wing out, that's going to be a forearm.
It actually depends on how you make the contact with your forearm. If your forearms are tight to your body, you can contact.
Right.
If they're up and out, you cannot.
Starting to chicken wing, yeah.
Any extension with that forearm.
That was a huge hit given out there by Slick Shoes, and actually incurred a, we thought was going to be a track cut.
Yeah, rightfully so. Another ref reversed that call. That was not the correct call. He did not cut. He might have went in, but he came right back out. He
That's
never
true.
made a forward
That's true.
motion.
That's true. And you have that opportunity to at least, as long as you're showing you're yielding and you're going back, you're not going to incur the track cut. That was a good rule change that they made.
Very good.
Looking there, Sweet Feet looking to pass off the cover there as it is now off his head.
Torchop powering through the middle of the pack, gets 4 more points for Flower City Fear.
Hard to believe there's been an entire minute played so far in this jam, only 4 points scored.
Tell you, King Killa, a force to reckon with, but he's going to get sent to the box for his efforts.
Well, it helped his team score points.
It did. Sometimes a penalty is worth it. People don't like when I say that, but it's true.
That was a rough hit given out to Sweet Feet there. Sweet Feet took a while before he got up off the track. Hands on the knees, taking some deep breaths like you had mentioned there. And maybe, we're 6 minutes out from halftime there. Score 69-40 in favor of Flower City. But maybe, like you said, that endurance is starting to, the fatigue is starting to set in, I should say.
Official timeout with 6 minutes left to go in play. Score 69-40 in favor of Flower City Fair. I have a sneaking suspicion they're probably discussing that whole track cut situation.
Very, very possible.
Because the reversal of that was what changed and allowed Torque Chop to become lead jammer and control that last jam.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be a 16-point swing if you think about it that way. They scored the 8 points. If they didn't get the points, 8 plus 8. I'm trying. But as it stands right now, it's 69-40 in favor of Flower City. 6 minutes and 1 second to go in the first half.
Okay, it looks like we even have the NSOs giving their opinion on what happened there.
They're able to do it as long as, you want to go to the knowledgeable, and there's a lot of eyes on that track, so you got to trust.
Again, speaking from experience as an official, I've had many times where a penalty box, somebody working in the penalty box had better eyes than anybody else out on that track at that time and gave us the key information that we needed and helped us with the call.
And where that happened, those officials are right there. I mean, that was on their side of the track to be able to see what actually happened. So they were closer. If you're talking about angles and stuff. So.
And it looks like Houston's actually going to be calling for an official review. I had a hiccup there.
So I wonder what's going to go on there then.
It's probably about that track.
Talking about the track cut.
I guarantee it.
If they're talking about it, why not get your opinions in there and what you thought you saw in there as well? You got to defend official review.
again, from the vantage point that I saw, I didn't see a track cut. But I could have missed something.
We're a little bit ahead of the we were in front of the penalty, or where it would have happened. They were kind of even, or maybe even just a little bit behind the penalties. So so that's kind of exciting. So Houston may be trying to flip the script a little bit and ask for a track cut themselves.
No, that's what they're looking for.
That's what they're looking for.
The track cut that got reversed on Torque Chop, they're looking for that one. They're like, it was called, somebody reversed it. Why was it reversed? They want to know the whole story.
Right, because you got to look at the penalties too, right?
Correct.
I mean, could it be before he even sat down, the other jammer got a penalty and they just waved it off?
No, that's what happened. In the beginning of that jam, Torque Chop went out. He got called on track cut, but another official reversed that call.
Right.
So they're looking for that call to be put right back on them. So we'll see what happens. I have a feeling that these officials have already fully discussed the situation.
More than once.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, while we're here, let's thank our sponsors right there. ProTech with the Jammer line, the Next Level Skate Shop, RollerDerbyMerch.com, Photo Booth, and Summer Affair.
Speaking of RollerDerbyMerch.com, on our house call right now is actually Deb Crush, who is the owner-operator of RollerDerbyMerch.com. Making merch great again.
That's right.
And she does make great merch. I will give her that.
They've got a little sign up over there to where you can crop top it. Apparently that's a popular thing going on now. A lot of people going around with crop top shirts. Bringing back the 80s.
Who has two thumbs and will not be rocking a crop top?
This
guy.
Rippy Long Stockings getting ready to give us the
411.
The down low, yeah, the info. Just moving off your screen right there. Still an official review.
Like Toxic Beverage might be getting ejected from the game. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. When they were looking at it, taking advantage of this is Snarl Sagan for the Houston Roughnecks, getting lead jammer status, while the Flower City jammer Torque Chop is in fact in the penalty box, serving out the penalty. When they called the official review, what it was, they were saying that the and Flower City actually won the review, which wound up putting their jammer in the penalty box.
Correction, Houston won the official review. That put Torque Chop into the penalty box.
That was Houston that won.
Yes, it was Houston's review. They wanted the track cut. They did win it. So it was
again
Torque
coaching.
Torque Chop that started in the box gave Houston the chance there to get lead jam and get 8 points, bring the score to 48-39, a difference of, let me see if I can do this, 21 points.
21.
Blackjack. I win.
House always wins.
But we're not on the house call.
It's true. But we're broadcasting it to everyone. as Halo Mofo trying to get through there, followed there by Mike Drop. Mike Drop coming around as your lead jammer for Flower City.
Halo Mofo had one blocker to beat, but that's King Killer, I believe, out there saying, not on my watch, sir.
Unable to get by King Killer. Is that...
Great job, King Killer, Davey Darko.
Mike Drop able to get through, taking it to the inside, 4-point pass.
Davey Darko all over Halo Mofo.
Mofo taking a pounding out there.
Dick move.
Adding
all
to it.
Over him.
Penalty going to be called. And that is going to go against 77 Dick move.
Yeah,
going to be joined by El Lamon in the penalty box. And it's a power jam now.
Halo Mofo did cut Jack Skellington out there. He thought he didn't go in front of anybody because Dick Move fell down when he hit him out, but Skellington was still in front of him, and he's
still in front.
Yeah, he gained superior position over him.
That's right, because if the players on the same team, if they are very close in proximity to each other, then you have to get behind them. They kind of count as one.
Yes.
If that makes sense there. You have to go behind all of them if any of them are in front of them.
I see Bones wearing the Jammer Star for the first time for Flower City Fear. And we're going to official timeout.
That was a 12-point jam, by the way, for Mike Drop in Flower City, taking their lead. It's now 81-48. And this is one of the biggest leads that Flower City has had, which just goes to show how close of a bout this is.
All right. A little bit of confusion out there today.
Halo Mofo in the penalty box for Houston. The Icy Bones out there jamming for Flower City. Took a hard shot to the midsection there, forced out of bounds by the Houston blocker. Number 55 there, Astro Stash.
And Elamon and Dick Move being released from the penalty box. Short behind is Halo Mofo with a jump around.
That was impressive.
She's waving him off, but should have lead.
How did he jumped over and around Schramm on that one.
And he has been a rewarded lead.
Third time is not a charm.
Nope. Went to the well a couple too many times there with that apex jump. And it looks like West got the star pass to him and became jammer for Flower City.
West, at that point, I always say, that Pivot gets that delusions of grandeur that they're going to be able to go out there and rack up the points for your team, but they always wait until you get so close.
Right there.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Call it off on
you. A little bit of this.
85-56 in favor of Flower City.
Giles.
Just under a minute 30 to go.
Giles going up against Sandman. Sandman going to try to put them to sleep. Pile up and turn one. Gives Giles the ability. Lead jammer goes to Flower City Fear. Elamon, I believe, got released from the box the last jam, but had to go right back, and he just got released again.
A lot of penalties we've noticed that are occurring with the Houston team. We'll have to look at that and see how they're doing. I mean, you do get 7, but you burn them up.
Giles, great job out there, grabbing 4 more points for Flower City Fear.
That wasn't Sandman there trying to get through and get a lead jab. Able to work his way around King Killa.
Giles calls it off. 30 seconds left to go in this first game. We might be able to get one more jam and score 89-56 in favor of Flower City Fear. And that was a great move there at Jack Skellington. Had his foot on the pivot line, leaning all the way back, knowing that the clock was going to run out before they could start. And he had Houston completely flabbergasted.
Going through their 89-56 in favor of Flower City. And it's halftime.
All right, we're going to take a little intermission here. I am Timmy Twitch, joined by the ever so wonderful
The Big Ragu.
See you in a short minute. Welcome back to the second half of Game 3 of Wheels of Steel. Flower City Fear taking on Houston men's roller derby, 89-56 in favor of Flower City Fear. We got a little bit of clarification of what happened in the first half with number
180.
Thank you. 180 Toxic Beverage of the Flower City Fear did get ejected from the game for an egregious high block.
It's one thing. They understand that there's going to be contact, and there might even be contact to the head there. But if you're launching into somebody with that intent, if it looks bad enough.
So from what I've heard from a few people that explained the incident to me, she actually lost footing and hit up into it doesn't, unfortunately, whether it was intentional or not, you have to you are responsible for maintaining control of your skates. So even if she meant it or did not, the egregious high block still stands.
Right. Houston has 2 jammers out there on the track right now. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, trying to play a sneaky right there with Sweet Feet. Stepping off the track, Halo Mofo jamming for Houston. Going around the outside, mic drop is your lead jammer for this jam.
Yeah, Flower City not falling for that. Got right onto Halo Mofo. But Halo Mofo able to squeak on through the outside, gets through.
Mic drop gets around to the outside, calls it off. 4 points, 93-56 in favor of Flower City. Still 29 minutes to go in the last half. Second half.
And Giles lining up now against Sweet Feet. Sweet Feet actually going to jam in this one. Thank you.
All right. They're cheering for the announcers there. We'll take any praise we can get. Staying on one foot, coming around Giles. That was amazing.
You know what?
Ability right there.
I'm going to tell you, back when we used to skate when we were younger, we used to do this 1 foot shuffle. I think it just came in handy for him.
All right. For a second there, I thought you were going to say that you taught that to him.
Absolutely not. I will not get credit for that. We taught each other a lot of tricks back then.
Your humbleness knows no bounds.
Oh, no, it definitely knows a lot of bounds. I'm not a very humble guy. Anybody will tell you that.
You with the best hair in the biz right there.
That is absolutely the truth.
It is.
It's been
Conan O'Brien can't touch you. Your coif is amazing.
I appreciate that. It was made official last year at Champs. The president of the American Flat Track Announcers Association, that was last year, made the announcement that I have the best hair in men's derby. So if the president says it, it has to be true.
It has to be true. Because if we know anything, if the president says it, it must be true.
Absolutely. Especially if the press secretary confirms it.
Torque Chop, this is one thing we do know to be true. Torque Chop is your lead jammer on this jam, able to get through. Sweet Feet following. Pack moving.
Is that 2 in a row for Sweet Feet jamming?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
See if you score any points there. Currently it's 94-56. It's going to be 96 now to 56. 2 points scored on that jam for Flower City. What is it? A little over 26 minutes to go in the half.
Both teams currently down 1 blocker. Gonna have mic drop taking on Hello Mofo.
Hello, Mofo.
Yep, like the commercial. And King Killa all up in Hello Mofo's grill. Going to be joined by a couple of his blockers.
Snarl Sagan there coming around there to form that line, freeing Halo Mofo. Good job there for Houston. Let's see if they can capitalize on this.
Yes, it's great offensive work there by Snarl Sagan.
Jumping around, spinning around, calling it off. That's going to be 4 points, 96-60 in favor of Flower City. And just under 26 minutes to go now.
Oh, and it looks like Halomofo is actually going to be assessed the forearm there at the end of the jam. That's going to give Flower City the power start with Giles lining up at the ProTech jammer line.
ProTech jammer line. Giles got a nice head start there, trying to take it to the inside, able to get around Slick Shoes there, which is good because that might have been a penalty on Slick Shoes.
Slick Shoes already sitting at 5, I believe.
5 penalties in the first half. It's quite the amount there.
And Giles calls it off there, gaining 4 points for Flower City Fear and freezing Halomofo in the penalty box.
So they're going to take advantage of this, try and get a power start going, maybe get lead jammer status.
Good way to do it with Mike Drop lining up at the ProTech jammer line.
Again, Mike Drop right now currently sitting at 50 points scored for the bout.
That's
half.
Half the points have been scored by Mike Drop. He does a good job of goading the blockers out to the outside and then cutting in.
Absolutely, and his approach there was power because he was able to move Waya off his stance there and knock them back to get the lead jammer status on there. The 4 points, 104, now has over 50% of the scoring for Flower City, 104-60.
And it is the first time for us. Jack Skellington, number 0 for Flower City Fear, lining up at the ProTech jammer line. Going to be taking on Sweet Feet. Looks like both teams at full strength.
Yeah, I believe you're correct with that. Taking it inside. Sweet Feet coming around, your lead jammer for Houston.
Great job there by Slick Shoes getting that inside line open for Sweet Feet. West with a solid hit onto Sweet Feet, knocks him down. Gets drawn back by King Killa.
Oh, and that was a massive hit given out there by Slick Shoes. Slick Shoes taking the penalty, though. That was a directional penalty, going clockwise instead of counterclockwise, making that hit. You can't lunge into somebody as they're coming toward you.
That's going to put Slick Shoes at 6.
It's a big hit there given out on the track. Slow to get up is that was Jack Skellington getting slow to get up there in turn 1.
I was expecting him to fully pass that star to King Killa, but no, he gritted it out.
Got back up, gathered his bearings again, and there he is trying to get around. Almost able to get by, but got knocked out by 501 there, Sergeant Psycho. Buying their jammer some time there is Houston trying to get around. Ooh, Sweet Feet took a big hit there, gave off a huge one. They're going to call a low block. Sweet Feet, that's a...
No, the low block
They're not
went
calling it.
No, the low block was assessed to West.
That's right. It was West. They did the low block there, made Sweet Feet, fell over top of him as Sweet Feet knocked West to the ground on that and then got the penalty. That's a twofer right there. Sweet Feet putting up 13 points in that jam. It's 109-73 in favor of Flower City. Just over 21 minutes to go in the half.
And we're going to have an official timeout.
13 points scored there. Sweet feet. 5 points actually put up by Jack Skellington.
Not bad for his first time out there jamming for this game.
And I'm not saying that as I was surprised. I was saying that more as kind of happy. You always like to see some of the skaters that maybe don't get the jammer stars often, get that, and they're able to get out and actually put points on the board. I myself, I would get out there and they would waste me. So that's why I'm announcing and not skating. I can admit I can easily be humbled out there.
I have to admit that the reason I'm announcing is I didn't feel like I had enough non-free time with already playing and reffing. Might as well take up any bit of free time with announcing as well.
My wife would agree with you on that subject as she looks at me and says, "You're leaving for another weekend?"
Yes.
I say, "Yeah, I got a couple more lined up. Summer Fair is one of them. August 9th through 11th. That is an amazing time. If you're a skater or an official, that is one that you want to get out to. They've got clinics that'll be running. They'll be running on Monday or Friday, and they'll also be running Saturday in the morning there before they get into all the bouts.
I really wish I could make it out to that.
Oh, I'll be there.
Unfortunately, I will not. I'll be training for the weekend after that, which is going to be the North American qualifiers.
Nice.
With the Philadelphia Hooligans.
The Hooligans.
Big shout out to the Philadelphia Hooligans, my brothers and sisters back in Philly.
The massive representation at Summer Fair will be from Gem City Roller Derby, my home league.
Very nice.
They bring about 20 to 30 skaters will be there alone. We have our own corner.
That is a decent amount of people. And Sandman out there for Houston, trying to get through. And he gets.
They giveth, they taketh away there.
Man, Giles gets through. Lee Jammer goes to Flower State. I'm not sure what the penalty was against Sandman.
It was quick, whatever it was, when he was running in there. And wound up getting that penalty there just when you thought he was going to get lead jammer status. Dipping down low, getting 4 points and calling it off. Giles, great skating there. Sandman still sitting, meaning he has over 10 seconds at least to be in a penalty box for this power start for Flower City.
Yeah, it was a beautiful bean dip there on the outside by Giles. Get low, present your back. There's not a target to be hit unless you have a very short blocker that can get that hip.
Yeah, it's just not really going to happen there. If you can get low, then that's the name of the game with this. Mic drop coming in. See how low they can get. Try and drive through.
Mike Drop is not really a low skater. He's more of a, I'm just going to go right at you.
He was driving the sled. If it was a to use a football analogy there, he gets in there, he hits you, he drives through you. All power, but he is a little bit lower to the ground. Able to get it through there.
Sandman hitting everybody against the Flower City Fear. One more to beat, and that's West. And no, recycled up. Chris Schramm
pushes
him out.
At the last second, Schramm got him just before he was able to break free.
Great job there by Chris Schramm. Last second clutch blocker.
And you could see the frustration right there on Sandman. Having to deal with all those blockers. Every time he got by one, he was getting engaged with and hit by another.
Yes.
And Schramm finished it off at the end. Halo Mofo looks to be jamming for Houston. 121.73, just under 19 minutes to go in the bout. And he is our lead jammer as well. Halo flying around the track now, really putting up speed. Torque chop. able to get through.
Snarl Sagan with the hit to the inside to Torque Chop, drawing him all the way back.
That was a lot of skating right there for Torque Chop and not gaining a lot of ground. Good defensive play right there. And another force out on Torque Chop, having to go all the way back to the pack is Snarl Sagan again.
Yeah, taking him back to the universe.
Yeah. Torque Chop trying to get through, and who's in his face again?
Snarl Sagan. Joined by Star and Astrostash.
They didn't call it. It looked like that was going to be his elbow definitely extended out from his body. Torque Chop looked a little ticked off there, but we've got an official review being called by Flower City. Current score has it 121 to 81.
17 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this game. While we're waiting here, I'd like to give a big shout out to RollerDerbyMerch.com, skater owned and operated by Deb Crush, making merch great again.
Absolutely. We have the Next Level Skate Shop, too. You can get on there and see them online. They are a full-service roller skate shop located in Cleveland, Ohio, specializing in roller derby as well as recreational and artistic skating. Next Level has everything to keep you rolling, offering gear, repairs, maintenance, and upgrade services. Next Level Skate Shop. Skate hard. Have fun. So as we sit here, it's 121-81, just under 18 minutes. In fact, 17 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second half. 40 points separating the teams.
Got an official review going on right now. Not sure what it is going to be for, but I'm sure we'll find out some, maybe.
We will find out soon enough.
I will.
As we look there, you know, we are getting into our ninth jam, and it's 6-3 advantage there for lead jammer status when it comes to that. And if you looked at the first half there, is it 10th jam? Going into our 10th jam or going into our 11th jam? Okay, so we've had the 10 jams, and we're looking at a 7-3 advantage there for Flower City. If you went back to the first half, it was a 16-9. Those add up, and you can control the game. You can control that and take it over. Whether it's a 1-point jam or 2 points, all of that adds up as we look on the board there. And it's to only be up by 40 when you've dominated that much in total jams. I mean, Houston's doing a pretty good job there with the jams that they do, in fact, get lead jammer status in.
They're slowly chipping away against that lead.
They can't, as we expected, it's a very, very closely matched teams, and Flower City can't, as we like to call it and other things, put it to bed. They can't get that lead where it's big enough to where they can feel comfortable. Mic Drop does get lead jammer status, though, for them, and in the meantime, Sweet Feet is trying to get around there for Houston. Mic Drop through. That's a 4-point pass. Sweet Feet finally through on the lead lap. Jammer on jammer going against each other there. Going to get called for the forearm. That's a power jam now going to Houston and Sweet Feet. Sweet Feet having to go all the way in the back after being forced out by West. Trying to take advantage of this power jam. And that's 4 points. 4 points for Sweet Feet and Houston. Both teams scoring 4 points so far in this jam. Able to get through. It's going to be a full 2-minute jam. Sweet Feet again through. 4 more points for Houston.
Mic Drop about to be released from the box and joins back into the action. He's going to do his usual, push them to the outside, take the inside line.
Push to the outside, go inside. You think they would start talking about that and maybe try to force him to do the opposite. But they give it and they take it away as now we look and we see Sweet Feet getting the penalty for Houston.
Now, what you want to do in that type of situation is have more of a fluid, rotating three-wall. So if you're pushing out like that, you see that you have that inside line.
Right.
Your blockers that probably is the brace should take that inside line and you just float with it.
Just rotate with it and flow?
Yep.
Unfortunately, he stepped out of bounds there is what we saw. Snarl Sagan did force out the jammer, but he stepped out as well, and he gave up position when he went out of bounds.
So a little clarification on that official review that was called by Flower City Fear. They were looking for an out-of-play block assessed to the Houston roller derby jammer. The out-of-play block was not seen or did not happen, and they lose their official review. Giles lining up for Flower City Fear. Going to go up against Hello, Mofo.
A lot more jams happening in this bout than in previous bouts. Race City likes to run the clock out on you. Pretty much every jam. Now this one could easily go over 40 jams.
Houston was saving Slick Shoes, but he is back out there. Slick Shoes currently one of the better blockers, but definitely sitting at 6 penalties currently.
At least 6. That could be 7. Well, he hasn't gotten it yet, but like you said, they're running that risk now, but they've got to take the risk as, you know, they had one of their biggest jams, and they actually wound up getting outscored in that jam by Flower City. In that 13-8 jam that happened previously to this one.
And speaking of Slick Shoes, he was able to knock out Giles, causing Giles to call it off.
After only putting up 2 points on the board.
Yep.
Flower City with 135, Houston with 89. Looking at the clock there, we have just over 14 minutes to go in the bout.
Halomofo going to start in the penalty box. Torque Chop lined up for Flower City Fear at the Protect Jammer line. Both teams full strength blocker-wise. Torque Chop looking for the inside line, but gets nailed by El Lamon. But stays in. Gets right back up.
That's a rough one, man. And just able to bounce back up like that. And coming out of the penalty box has to be made. Where Torque thought he was actually the jammer. That could have been a thing there. That could be a penalty, right? If you try to call it off and you're not the lead jammer.
It can be.
Doesn't.
So here's what happens with that. If you try to call it off, and the jam ref calls it off, then it is a penalty.
Okay, so
the jam ref can see you trying to call it off all day long, but if they do not,
as long as they don't call it off,
yes,
you're good to go.
Yes.
Okay, 135-89 in favor of Flower City right now, and just under 13 minutes to go in the half.
And Mike drop, one blocker to beat. Oh no, recycle up. And he gets actually helped by the Houston blocker, El Lamon.
Bounced off of him there. You know, sometimes you can use the opponent, your opposing skater's body or whatever, their momentum to keep your balance and to get you through. Frustration looks to be building up a little bit with some of the Houston players.
Sweet Feet, a little frustration on his face.
138-89 in favor of Flower City.
Sandman out there for
under
Houston.
12 minutes.
Giles for Flower City. Outside line was looked for by Sandman, but Giles actually playing a little defense. And Chris Schramm with the hit brings back Sandman all the way.
No, I'm surprised that a forearm penalty was not called on the Flower City blocker on that one, because that arm was definitely extending out to take out Sandman as he was coming around in turn 2.
Now, here's where that could get a little iffy, and without being right there to see that, if the actual hit was from the shoulder and that's what did most of the force, and it wasn't the push from the forearm, it's not the call.
I could see that, but it looked like his elbow was literally in the guy's back.
Okay.
As he was extending out there to force him out of bounds.
Awesome.
That's the only thing I was.
You had better eyes on that one completely than me.
It was one of the few times I was actually focused right on that, just happened to be right that exact spot to see that happen. 140-89 in favor of Flower City. 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the half.
Torque Chop currently out there for Flower City going up against Sweet Feet of Houston Men's Roller Derby. And Dick Move going to get sent to the penalty box for a multiplayer. Flower City all over Sweet Feet, not making his life easy. It looks like it's King Killa and Davey Darko.
Yeah, getting help from Jack Skellington in that as well, bracing him and holding him up there.
Sweet Feet will one to beat, able to do so. Lee Jammer goes to Houston Men's Roller Derby.
We got a track cut.
And Slick Shoes gets a track cut. That is 7.
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
That is all she wrote for Slick Shoes.
$140.93. Sweet Feet adding an additional 4 points for Houston. As we are now under 10 minutes, actually under 9 minutes to go in the half for this second half of the bout. 140.93, Flower City. So caught it there. Is it the pivot or the captain that has to take the penalty?
Actually, when it's a replacement, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be any specific person that takes takes it. Sometimes, depending on the team, they'll always say that the captain is the person who takes
the penalty, but it could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
Can you have one of the skaters that doesn't even get in? They can be that person that takes the penalty, like never even been on the track. Hey,
yeah.
You got to take it.
Yeah, it could be, but you gotta be aware that that person is gonna end up going on the track.
Right. Yeah, because they're going to have to serve the penalty.
Yep.
So they will be going out on the track.
Yes.
So that does get a little bit. That could be dicey, because you've got to choose.
And that time it was actually number 6'9" Star for Houston that was serving the penalty.
And Star has not had a lot of penalties. I think maybe one.
No, relatively clean skater.
And that's who you want to have take the penalty. You want to.
Giles out there knocks 007 Sandman, and he's going to bring him all the way back, but Sandman's not falling for it. Now, here's the thing. Giles can stand out there for 2 full minutes if he wants to. He does not have to skate forward. He can burn this clock. They have the lead. They do not need.
They can just wait for it to go.
They can just wait. And that looks like what he's exactly going to do.
Going to wait there, burn up the entire 2 minutes.
Yep. It looks like Snarl Sagan was going to take a little nap waiting for this to happen.
Just waiting there is they're waiting in the turn 1. You wonder if they could just stop play right there, take the 2 minutes off the clock, and just get it going again.
No, this has been something that has been controversial in roller derby for quite a while, since it's that
almost like how they had to install like a pitch clock in baseball. Hey, you've got a certain amount of time before you have to actually engage,
make a forward
or do something. So we sit here for 2 minutes, or at least another 35 seconds for this jam to go down.
And
it favors Flower City. It's a smart move.
It is. It's a very strategic move, and it makes sense for them to do it if they can. It's just, unfortunately, the people that suffer for this are the fans.
Right, because you have to sit there and wait for them to do it. So the other skaters, honestly, though, have to get up and keep moving around there.
And the crowd made the best of it, to be quite honest.
You know, seven seasons I've been announcing roller derby. A couple hundred bouts in there. That's the first time I've actually seen that happen, where they've waited out the full 2. But then again, I must admit, a majority, a massive amount of my bouts that I've called have been WIFTA sanctioned, with the women's. So that's not a knock on anybody. I'm just saying, maybe their way of doing it is a little different. And that could be a different rule, too.
No,
they skate under the same rules.
Same exact rule.
That's right. That's one of the great things about derby is the women play under the same rules as the men. No change in anything, now that I think about it.
And Giles out there again for Flower City Fear. Sweet Feet is the jammer, and lead jammer goes to Houston Men's Roller Derby. Giles able to get out for his initial pass, too. Sweet Feet on the scoring run. Calls it off before Giles is able to get any points. Sweet Feet got 2.
Sweet Feet got 2.
Your score with about 4 minutes left to go in play. 142-99 in favor of the Flower City Fear.
See, I'm going to go with a 43-point lead for Flower City.
Math.
Doing math. All right, Halo Mofo is jamming for Houston. It's 142.99, like we said, just over 4 minutes to go in the bout. Torque Chop. That was a huge hit given out by number 16, King Killa, on the Houston jammer. And getting through, though, still, Halo Mofo comes out as your lead jammer. Maybe they're a little ticked off there. Big hits given out there. Torque Chop initiated it, and then other skaters wound up slamming into him.
Oh, and number 7-7, Hollow Mofo, going to be called on a low block. That's going to give the power jam to Flower City Fear, who's passed the star to King Killa, is now your jammer.
Well, King Killa seems to have the hot hand right now, just leveling people back and forth, and now approaching that pack and driving through.
He just powers through.
Pure power on the lead pass. 146.99 in favor of Flower City. We're going to have 2 jammers score 4 points for Flower City on this jam.
Interesting. And Astrostash knocking out King Killa, bringing him back. Well, Hollow Mofo is released from the pack.
That was a nice move there by Jack Skellington, forcing out Halo Mofo to go all the way back around. Bought him a lot of time on that hit.
And Hollow Mofo able to get through, picking up 4 points for Houston. And again, Hollow Mofo gets through. 4 more points onto the board for Houston.
Now, when they gave up the star there, they gave up Lee Jammer, actually Lee Jammer was lost once. Halo Mofo went out, and it was going to go the full 2 minutes anyway. I was getting carried away there.
Now, there was an apex jump there at the end. I think he actually clipped his own skater and got launched. 1 minute, 43 seconds left to go in play. Score 148 to 107 in favor of Flower City Fear. You got the one and only Mic Drop lining up against Sweet Feet.
This could be the last jam of the bout right now.
Curse of the announcers.
Yeah, there could be at least 8 timeouts, a couple of official reviews going around as Sweet Feet has lead jammer status. The best thing they could do right now, they've got to get the points. I mean, they're the higher ranked team, so all these points that they're going to score are going to help them.
So Mic Drop self-reported to the box for absolutely no reason. There was no call
because they wanted
against him.
to. He just wanted to sit down a little bit because he wanted to get on the lead lap now.
And now he's got 4 points. He was already out.
He was already out.
And then self-reported.
He's so honest Abe right there.
Maybe he had a guilty conscience. Oh, and he is good.
It's going to be 152 to 107.
And I believe Mic Drop did get assessed a back block penalty right there at the end. That's going to give Houston the power jam. And Houston calling for the official review.
So Houston, Sweet Feet had lead jammer status and did not score a point on that jam. Is that what I'm seeing up there on the board? Didn't get past the hips of any of the skaters?
I'm sorry?
As we look there, we see Sweet Feet, was the lead jammer on that jam.
Yes.
Wound up calling it off. And we look, and it's still 107, 152 now to 107. So lead jammer status did not score a point.
Interesting.
On that jam, according to the scoreboard, what we're seeing right now. And as we see that.
And Mic Drop able to pick up 4 for the Flower City Fair.
And they were in great position there, Houston was, to close the gap a little bit there to ease the pain of, this, our first upset, what would be an upset in this tournament.
Yeah, this would definitely move Flower City up in the rankings, which they've been doing all season. They've just been knocking down team after team that was above them.
You mentioned that at the very beginning of the bout when you were talking about teams being underranked and things like that. So it's pretty interesting to see this play out, if you will. Official review going on. The announcer curse is real. We have said, this could be our last bout. 5 minutes later, we are still going. So 39 seconds to go.
You said the words.
I did, didn't I? Did I do it?
You did.
I said it.
The
I said the words.
It's all right.
I did the thing.
Champ Unkind, who's on the house call and also our tournament head announcer, also said the words.
He said the thing. So we're looking at almost 3 minutes now on this official review. And okay.
Waiting for our producer to come back to inform us about what happened with this official review.
We're about to get informed, like you said.
Okay, so the clarification on the official review was right in the beginning there where Mike Drop did report to the box. It was for a track cut. The officials didn't have the correct information, told him to leave the box, but he still had the penalty to serve. So he's actually going to be assessed 2 penalties, I believe. Sit a full minute for the back block at the end and the track cut.
Oh, yeah. They can stack them. So we got the full minute there, and finally on the lead lap to be your lead jammer is going to be Sweet Feet.
It's got 10 seconds left to go in play, a minute and a half left to go on the jam clock.
So unless he runs into trouble, I could see him trying to take as much of this jam as possible to get those points for Houston. And he's able to get through. That's going to be a 4-point pass.
Picks
for
up
Sweet
4
Feet.
points, keeps on going. Right now, he just wants to tighten that gap in points.
Now, this is for the defense here. Houston has to control Flower City Jammer if Houston is going to be able to do any of this. Close that gap like you said. That was a hard crack there. Somebody's going to get a penalty.
I believe King Killa getting the penalty for direction.
And now we have Mike Drop breaking through the pack, forcing the call off, taking us to the end there. And that's going to be 152-111 in favor of Flower City.
Unofficial score, just waiting for the rolling whistle to confirm that that's going to be the official score.
Oh, 113.
It's roller derby. Fun for all ages.
There it is. They finally made it final and official. Flower City Fear with the upset over Houston Roughnecks, 152-113.
I have been Timmy Twitch.
I'm the Big Ragu.
Have a wonderful and safe evening.
We are out.